Hello and welcome to a new video. We are today driving the BYD Seal, which a friend of mine, Dominic Lux from technicnews.net, oh my god, there's bugs here, has got on test for maybe a week now. And he's friendly enough to let me test drive it, get my first impressions in, and show you what the car basically can do. We're gonna go on a quick loop around here. You know that loop already from the Model 3 performance videos. And we're also gonna go on the highway for just a blast to the next exit and back down. So we can kind of feel how the car handles and feels. Yeah, so I would say let's jump right into the car and see what the car can do. All right, so let's do our actual first drive in the BYD Seal. I just drove over from here, so that's pretty much my first experience in the car. Let's pull out of here. Let's check if the GoPro is running. Yep, it is. Awesome. Okay, there is an e-tron coming. I would say we're just gonna go our default test drive loop here around Hilton, which we already did in the Model 3 Performance some weeks ago. You hopefully have seen that video somewhere on a YouTube channel near you. And I have to say, regen is pretty low right now. If I completely lift off, it just kind of coasts. But it is kind of aggressive when I push down the pedal. So that's interesting. This is the 3.8 second variant. So the highest power version of the car, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I would say regen is set too high, I guess.
Yes.
So that feels kind of low to me. Also, no one pedal driving here.
Yes.
Only
No one pedal.
kind of coasting, but blended brake pedal. That's kind of nice. And it starts creeping if you push on the accelerator. That's interesting. We get a lot of information here in the driver cockpit display. Yeah, that's kind of wild. All the tire pressures and kilowatts of power that we are currently using. That's quite nice. I like that. Let's see. And wow, okay. It's fast and it's quiet. That's pretty nice. And also if you drive a little faster, then the regen also feels a bit better, I would say. All right, we're just gonna go straight ahead. It's about a 20-minute loop here. But pretty nice mixed driving. Maybe we're gonna hop on the highway afterwards. But let's see for now. Yeah, I think I talked about the materials in a video some time ago already, but it feels nice. Except for the the glossy black plastic in the center console and on the steering wheel. Not a big fan of that, you all know that. Also in the door, always gets fingerprinty and kind of dusty as well. So not a big fan of that, but we got two big wireless chargers for our phones here. That's quite nice. Sadly, not ventilated. Almost no one does that. That's kind of sad. Porsche knows how to do it. They do ventilated wireless phone chargers, and that's also how you can kind of charge your phone wirelessly without it overheating. So from, I would say, 20-25 kilometers an hour, you pretty much have to use the brake pedal to slow down noticeably. What else do we have here? Of course, driver assistance systems, yeah, lane keeping assist and adaptive cruise control, of course. We got a nice head-up display up ahead. That's nice to have, I would say. I'm personally not a big fan of head-up displays because I'm not used to it, but they don't hurt, so can't be bad to have them. You can rotate your center screen that's quite funny. Probably useful if you're on a navigation kind of like that, then you see more of your route that's ahead, while when you are charging and want to, I don't know, watch YouTube or something, you can turn it horizontally. Also on the steering wheel with a button, that's quite nice. We got heated and ventilated seats, but not both at the same time. So as in like most cars, I would say. We got our indicator and wiper stalks, nothing Tesla Model 3 Highland like, or Model S or Model X, or Cybertruck or whatever. Pretty standard, and I like it. Feels good, I would say. Yeah, generally materials are pretty good. Also the notification there that there's a right turning corner ahead. Interesting. Seems kind of Chinese software like to me. And the software is pretty good, so it's really snappy. You got Spotify integration, you got your phone stuff, you got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is nice. But yeah, we are trying to use the in-car software to kind of get a feel for it and to use this thing. We got our center console gear shifter here, gear selector. I think that's kind of reminds me of Polestar and BMW a bit. I think the i5 had a kind of similar shifter here with the parking button here. Do you need to use the start stop?
Yes, for turning off the vehicle.
Okay, so
and then it already does the parking brake.
Okay.
You don't need to press P before
Okay,
it.
so at least that's something, but you can't just hop in, press the brake and go off.
Yes, you need to press that.
Okay.
But you can start car with the remote.
Okay.
So the ventilation is already on and the whole car is on. You need only to get it in gear.
Yeah, okay.
So the button is optional if you press the button before
Yeah.
on the key fob.
Okay. We got our auto dimming screens, which are going pretty dark in dark mode, but that's probably a setting. All right, what else do we have? I would say the suspension is comfortable, not too soft, but also not too hard or too bumpy. I think we're gonna get a kind of bumpy section soon up ahead, and I'm going a bit too fast, so let's slow down. At 50 kilometers an hour, it's pretty nice to drive, I would say. It's also, you get kind of regen in the pedal, so that's not too bad. Let's see, we get a more cornery section up ahead in just a sec. Let's see what the car does in the corners, but the steering is not too light and not too heavy. It makes you feel the road, kinda.
At the moment, sport steering is on.
Okay.
So there's another setting you can activate for comfort steering.
Okay. So, yeah, I like the sport setting, but we can try to change it later. Also downhill, we get a lot more regen off pedal than we get on a flat surface. Okay, kinda limited power while steering lock is on. Let's see, but
We are on eco tires.
yeah, definitely. We're kind of sliding a bit, but still, it's well controllable. It's yeah, it's kind of, it feels good. Let's see, this corner is always nice for corner acceleration tests. Nothing coming from there. All right, so it gives you quite some power even with steering lock. A lot of cars kind of limit that more than you'd like to, like the BMW i4, I think, kind of limits that, even though I haven't driven that for quite a long time. But yeah, for a comfortable cruiser that's not super sporty, it's driving really good.
Yeah, still in normal mode. You can
yeah.
switch to sport mode.
That's
Maybe it's then a bit
somewhere
different.
here.
Just turn it to wheel, yeah.
Yeah, now we're in Eco. Oh, Eco gives you, I think, kind of, does it give you more region, or is it
I
just
think it's just
70 kilometers an hour?
yeah.
All right. Now let's go to Sport. That wheel kind of feels cheap. You don't get really...
Yeah, no feeling out
Yeah,
of
you,
it.
you
Yeah.
don't get any feedback what you're
Yes,
doing.
yeah.
You can just spin it around
yeah.
and
And hopefully you are accessing the right mode.
yeah. So Sport is even more aggressive, 370 kilowatts of acceleration power there. Pretty nice. Let's slow down for the 50 zone here to not run over any people.
We already have a time stopper mode integrated. So
Okay.
when you do launch control, you can stop the time in the cockpit there.
All right, okay. So here we can switch display modes of the driver's display. That's kind of nice. Better readable now. So that's cool. What else do we get here? That's that and then we can navigate between all of that. You can control climate settings from there. That's nice. Yeah, you can only set that while you're standing still. Yeah, where do we need to go? I think it's a bit straight ahead still. And there we can just switch between those modes. All right. Okay, that's audio and volume. Is that also drive mode here?
That's a mode for switching the
Audio
sources.
mode.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back. Home and navigation. Pretty sure we also got heated steering wheel,
Yes.
of course,
Mhm.
because it's a comfort cruiser and you wouldn't want to miss that. Yeah. How's the room in the back? I guess that's kind of good, isn't it?
Yes, it's Chinese-like.
Very
But,
nice.
The seats could be a bit higher. My shoes stop before my leg is already there.
Ah, yeah. So the legs aren't completely on the seat,
Yes.
but there's just a bit air below. Yeah, I can say that about up here, of course, because you got your personal seats and you can set them like you want to. Of course, electric seats, like in every kind of more premium car, as you would expect it. So let's turn left here. Stop eating animals. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Okay, some city driving here. Yeah, but the ventilated seats are really strong, I would say. You can feel them quite good. Where do you set that? Probably in climate
Climate,
menu?
yeah. Then here.
Alright. So let's go that one. Otherwise I'm gonna get a cold tomorrow. Ah yeah, that's heated steering wheel as well. Yeah, the graphics and the whole software experience is pretty nice. It's really snappy. It's even snappier than my Intel Model 3. So that's good. Let's hope the GoPro is still running. Yes, it is also. But we are still creeping up. And the first like half centimeter of pushing the accelerator pedal gives you way more power from standstill than you would get on the next centimeter. So you really have to accelerate super slowly if you want to like softly get off the line and not rip it from standstill, which also is fun, of course, but you don't always. But of course, we're also in sport mode, so maybe that's also a difference.
Can you change the ambient light?
Pretty sure you can. Somewhere in the car menu. Let's put that on autopilot like setting. That's probably here. Lighting, ambient lighting. Put it on red because the red one goes faster. Dynamic ambient light and stuff. You have your manual headlight height adjustment. That's interesting. So seems like it doesn't do it automatically. You can also turn off ESP somewhere, ESC, but I'm not quite, I think it's in below ADAS. Yeah, safety. Yeah, alright. So the tire squeal was even with stability control on. So yeah, quite fun to drive. Alright, let's head towards the Autobahn and then see what the car can do at higher speeds. Alright, we're soon on the highway, but we got a nice corner here. Let's get a bit ahead and let's see. Yeah, that's losing traction a bit earlier than Model 3 Performance, but also keep in mind we got eco tires on, so that's that. And there are cops, so we don't want to get too much attention. But yeah, let's just get on the next highway on-ramp. Probably a 46. We can't go like German Autobahn ripping speeds, but at least some kind of higher speeds. One exit up, one down, and then back to seat and greet. But I just want to feel how the car handles when cruising on the highway on every Autobahn that's not in Germany. So let's get on here. And also interesting, it doesn't do any blinker sounds while indicating speed limit sounds or something, so that's interesting. Wow, what does it do now? Wild. Okay, anyway, let's kind of get on there. Also, we just talked about it can't do route planning, the car itself, but it can show you chargers nearby. And if the chargers have like open data and statistics available, then it also shows them. So supercharger it won't show because you kind of don't get those information, but like every other public charger, public CPO, it can show the stats. So yeah, we're going 124. Let's set our cruise control. Do we need to enable it? Yes, we do. Alright, that's already next exit. That's a bit fast, but alright. Can we make it? Yes, we can. Let's just move over here. Sadly, doesn't have any blind spot monitoring camera. I would have thought that the Chinese did that, but they don't. So it's only, I think, Kia and Hyundai and of course Tesla. And NIO, yeah, sure, true. Maybe BYD will do it in the future, probably. You can also like view your recent apps here. That's really Android-y, gotta say. That feels just like they took AOSP, put it on there, have fun, and that's it. So
in the first cars you can already sideload apps like blitzer.de or something on it.
wow.
Because developer mode was enabled. But in the new versions they patched that out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's also better that they did that, but funny that it worked just like with iWays. In the early iWay software, you also were able to like just sideload Android apps. Yeah, nice ambient lighting there. So let's get back on the highway and then get back to Hilton. Should be there in like 5 minutes. But I have to say the car feels good. It's not a super performance racetrack ripper, but for the occasional 0 to 60 acceleration or a quick overtake on the highway or some B roads, it's really good. It's well made. It feels good. It drives good. It's comfortable. And of course, it's pretty cheap for what you get. It's about 50,000 euros, and that spec as we drive it, that's quite a bit cheaper than Model 3 Performance, which is at high 50s, I think. And you get a lot more room on the rear seats. You get probably a bigger trunk, I guess. Why wouldn't we exit here? I think the navigation is confused, or maybe I'm gonna go.
Google Maps did that also yesterday.
Okay, weird. Let's see if they were right or if we are right. No, we are right. Okay. But yeah, it's a real good deal. And I think for going on vacation, that's a pretty nice car. Also got some cubbies down here, some room, some cup holders, even more room below there.
And you can press this cup holder down, so you can get bigger bottles in this.
Oh, that's nice.
And then you can eject it.
That's awesome. Okay, do we have a glove box? Because I know
Yes.
that most Chinese cars don't. Okay, not too bad, and some room in there for the most important stuff. But yeah, I think for first impression, that's, I would say, pretty much all. We're just quickly jumping in the back seat again to check that out, and damn, that's a lot of room. I'm sitting behind myself. I'm 1 meter and 77 centimeters, so not too small, and I got so much room here. But yeah, as Mike said, my legs aren't fully on the seat. Just if I kind of lounge like that, then it works. And I think that would work for a longer trip, so that's pretty nice. Got some seat back pockets here and some stuff. Materials also in the back, pretty nice, but some hard plastic back here. Yeah, that's quite nice. Let's have a quick look at the trunk, which Mike is just taking a look at as well. Yeah, that's not too small. That's pretty deep.
Same problem like the Model 3.
Yeah, you just got your hatch and not a real, or yeah, like just a small hatch. But quite some room.
It's less than the Model 3.
Okay, less. That's interesting.
You have maybe till here it's more, but it's yeah, I don't know.
It's probably a bit shorter than Model 3, I would say.
Yes.
All right, that's interesting. Let's have a quick look at the lower trunk, maybe in just a sec. The underfloor storage is, I would say, a bit smaller than in Model 3, which I would pretty much compare it to because it's similar in size, I would say. And it's got a tiny frunk up here.
This is quite heavy.
All right. Oh, wow, yeah. That's a heavy construction there. And we got a tiny frunk for that. So it's still enough for an AC charging cable or something, but
I would say from volume side, it's like the Model 3.
I would say it's smaller. I think the Model 3 is a bit wider while still being just as long. But I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, that's interesting and nice. But still, you get a frunk. That's the most important thing. So yeah, nice. Okay, so you've seen the car is pretty nice. It drives well. It's super comfortable. It's a super deal for the price, and you can get even lower versions for even lower price points. So you get a pretty good deal for your family vacation trip and all your daily needs, I would say. I think that's all the thoughts I have on the car. I like it a lot, and I would love to test it for more than 20 minutes for just one drive. But let's see what the future brings. Until now, thank you so much for watching, and see you guys in the next one. Bye!